We'll begin in Abuja, where the new acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has been decorated with his new rank by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the State House. Also in attendance are the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, Chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, Hope Uzodinma, Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila, as well as Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. Also present was the former IGP Usman Akali Baba. The acting Inspector General of Police described this feeling as that of a tiger that is ready to hunt, ready to take on criminally minded individuals.
You come, you work, and you go. I'm happy I'm handing over to somebody I know that will carry the mantle of leadership from where I have stopped. We grew up in the job, we grew up together. I was his boss at the time, not even when I was IG. He worked under me twice. We've been working together, and I know how he can go ahead to champion the cause of the police from where I have stopped.
Shortly after that declaration by the Vice President, acting IGP Kayode Egbetokun arrived at headquarters of the Nigeria Police Force. The new police chief is expected to assume office on Wednesday after the former handover at the force headquarters in Abuja. For France for the Paris summit for the new Global Financial Pact. This is the first official trip since he assumed office on 29th of May. The president is expected to attend a two-day summit hosted by President of France, Emmanuel Macron, at the Palais Brongniart. President Tinubu will also participate, review, and sign a new Global Financial Pact that places vulnerable countries on priority list for support and investment. The statement signed by the Special Advisor, Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, President Tinubu, and the other global leaders will take a more holistic look at the recovery of economies from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic and rising cases of poverty. The former governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, is undergoing interrogation at the Makurdi office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over alleged financial misappropriation. Mr. Ortom arrived at the zonal office of the anti-graft agency following invitation by the commission. The former governor's media aide, Teva Akase, and principal special assistant on special duties, Ibrahim Kwango, were cited with him. Efforts to reach the commission's spokesperson, Wilson Wajeren, on the development did not yield result as at the time of filing this report. Let's turn to the courts now, where suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, is challenging his detention in the custody of the Department of State Services. The Attorney General of the Federation and the DSS, however, insisting the detention of Mr. Emefiele is lawful. The preliminary objection filed against the fundamental rights enforcement suit instituted by Mr. Emefiele, the AGF and the DSS told the FCT High Court the detention is backed by an order of a magistrate court. Godwin Emefiele, in his originating motion and notice, is praying the court to enforce his freedom to liberty and movement, as there are no basis for his continuous detention. The AGF is also challenging the jurisdiction of the court to entertain the suit. The court has now adjourned till 13th of July for the ruling.
The matter today was for hearing of fundamental rights proceedings of the suspended governor of the Central Bank. We have argued the application. They have replied. We have also replied on points of law. They raised issues of jurisdiction, which we met and explained to the court that the court has undoubted jurisdiction to hear the matter. It's now been adjourned to the 13th of July for hearing. When you see the ruling, you see all the ruling. When you see the ruling, you see the reasons given one way or the other.
And staying with court stories, counsel to the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has told the court his client requires urgent ear surgery amidst his reported failing health. Nnamdi Kanu, through his counsel Michael Zekome, is also seeking an order granting him unhindered access to his doctor. Mr. Zekome stated that the DSS has repeatedly refused to release medical records of Mr. Kanu, even after the medical team confirmed his need for medical attention. In his response, counsel to the DSS argued that Mr. Kanu is being given proper feeding and given medical attention. He prayed the court to dismiss Mr. Kanu's case. The trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, after listening to the submission, adjourned the suit to July 20th for judgment. Now, the Lagos State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has heard testimonies from two witnesses as the candidate of the People's Democratic Party opened this case. The petitioner, Olajide Adediran, also called Jando, who emerged third in the March election, is asking the tribunal to declare him the winner, alleging electoral infractions against his closest rivals. The second witness, Shakiru Akpino, who is a PDP chieftain, also accused the APC of non-compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act and the nomination and submission of particulars of the candidates to INEC. For that hearing is fixed for 21st of June.
We know that the judiciary will do the needful at this time. Everybody is watching, the entire world is watching. I know there is always a first time. Even those people feel, oh, judiciary, you can't. Well, I keep saying there is always a first time. And this time, I'm sure they are going to do the needful.
So that's a serious ground under the Electoral Act, Section 134 of the Electoral Act, that one of the grounds for challenging the election is that the person who has been declared winner of the election was at the time of the election not qualified to have contested the election. And in our own case, we are on a very firm and serious ground that the respondents in the case, particularly second and third, as well as the fifth and sixth respondents in the matter, were at the time of this election not qualified to have been allowed to contest even. Because of the infractions of the Electoral Act, we've been able to articulate in this petition, and as well as a disqualifying factor we also found from WAEC for lying on oaths.
The position of the APC, from our own point of view, that's the legal team, is to allow them to prove what they mean by non-compliance, because the two witnesses that came, Jando, who was the candidate for the PDP, as well as the second witness they brought, had difficulty in explaining what they meant by substantial non-compliance. I think they have that problem. It's not our problem. We are not petitioners.
To other stories now, the United States Bureau of Energy Resources says there are opportunities to deliver more power for Nigerian citizens while recognizing the impact President Tinubu has made in signing the electricity bill. Assistant Secretary, U.S. Bureau of Energy Resources made this known while paying a working visit to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Celestina Area has details.
The energy sector is at a very critical stage in global energy system with two disruptions, one being the energy transition, which is a rapid shift to more sustainable power, and the second be the emergence of technology to reduce the carbon intensity of fossil fuel. The Russia-Ukraine war also has implications on the global market, with Russia, who was in 2022 the world's largest oil producer, being marginalized. U.S. Bureau of Energy Resources has pledged to continue working closely with the Nigerian government on carbon management. This is in view of the country's transition to more cleaner energy, thereby reducing carbon emissions.
We see opportunities in terms of delivering more power for the citizens of Nigeria and recognizing that President Tinubu has made a very strong start, which offers the prospect of unlocking new growth and new interest from foreign investors, including significantly the American companies that have historically played a very large role in the Nigerian energy economy.
Nigeria now, gas is our transition fuel, and we want to see every form of collaboration, assistance that will help us maximize the use of gas, which we all have agreed is a cleaner form of energy in our transition agenda. And
being a very populous country, 70% of our population below 30, and enormous undersupply of energy, is the perfect time for the United States to help us and support us, either by accessing the technology, financing, as we continuously make efforts towards decarbonization of our operations.
Automation, digitalization, and especially in terms of regulation. We put a lot of regulations in place, but the important thing is the implementation of those regulations. So we need collaboration with your bureau in terms of capacity building, in terms of any support that we can require.
The policies being put in place by President Bola Tinubu will stir up interest in foreign investors and American companies. President Joe Biden and the U.S. have renewed their commitment to collaborating with the Nigerian states. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.